Hey everyone, we are here today with a new set of practical which is bleeding time. This is a very small practical of physiology can be given as a short practical in your examinations. In this practical we'll be talking about what is bleeding time, okay, what is the procedure of bleeding time and what are different viva questions which can be asked in examinations, right? Okay, so once you get a practical, so the first question in examiner's mind is he'll be asking about the definition of bleeding time definitely. Okay, so what is bleeding time? This is the time interval when you get injury, when you get any cut on skin, the time interval between the skin puncture and spontaneous stoppage of bleeding. Okay, so without doing anything, spontaneous, the blood will stop. The time duration from puncture till stoppage of bleeding, this is called bleeding time. And what we are assessing in bleeding time, this is assessment of platelet function. We'll see how. Okay, now let's see how we can measure bleeding time. So there are two methods by which we can measure bleeding time, although the most common is Duke's method only. We'll be performing only Duke's method in normally the lab settings. Okay, so Duke's method and IV's method, there are two type of methods by which we can estimate bleeding time. Okay, so let's first see the Duke's method. Obviously, this is the most common method being used and you will be asked to perform only Duke's method. So you should be having idea about only Duke's method. But a second question can be what are different other methods which can be used to perform this practical and the base name and the basis behind the other method. Okay? The Duke's method. So let's see the Duke's method. Duke's method, okay, filter paper, also called filter paper method. Now let's see the apparatus first. So here you will be needing pricking apparatus. You'll need a clean filter papers. You can mark these filter paper as E45 or depending on seconds, 0 second, 30 seconds, 60 second, 90 second, 120 second, right? And you should be having to measure the time interval. You should be having a stopwatch. That's it. Okay, now let's see how the Duke's method can be performed. So first of all, to prick your finger under aseptic technique, guys, whenever you have to do any practical of HEMAT, you have to first say you finger prick using don't ever forget it. Okay, now as you prick the finger, so this is your zero time from puncture, as we have to measure the duration from bleeding stop till the bleeding stop. Okay, so that's why this is zero time. Once you have to measure zero time and start, only then you can measure the 30 seconds, right? So once 30 seconds are complete, you have to wipe this flowing blood or at any point or corner. Okay, wipe flowing blood on filter paper anywhere, then repeat the procedure again, start stopwatch, and again every 30 seconds you have to touch the filter paper and or we can say wipe the blood. Okay, and you should not be pressing this puncture site, otherwise the blood will clot. Okay, so every 30 seconds you have to repeat this procedure. Don't squeeze the finger. Okay, and then we'll be calculating total time, that will be bleeding time. So normal bleeding time is 2 to 6 minutes. Now let's see how we'll calculate it. For example, this is a filter paper and instead of 30 seconds you have marked 1 2 3 4 or 5. Okay, and on 5 spots some blood spot, on 5th it's not visible but there is some blood spot. Okay, fine, so there are 5, so you can see 30 second, 60 second, then further 2 and 1, so 1 minute and half minute, so there are 2.5 minutes. Okay, so 2 minute 30 second is your bleeding time as per this calculation. Fine, so number of spots you have to measure and you have to touch every 30 second till there is ultimately no spot. Fine, so that's it. Now what are different precautions you should be following in this practical are: the skin site chosen for bleeding time should be scrubbed well with alcohol to increase the blood flow. Okay, after that we don't have to squeeze it. Okay, the skin should be dry and the puncture should be 3 to 4 mm deep to give free flowing blood, and don't squeeze it. Okay, so the puncture should be sufficient. This is a must thing to perform this practical, because many times our puncture is so less that even we can't make a smear. Okay, this thing is very necessary. Now don't press the filter paper on puncture site, otherwise you'll not be having precise bleeding time. and if bleeding continues for more than 10-12 minutes, then you have to inform the teacher. Okay, so this is, there is something abnormal, or you have something, deep puncture you have done. Okay, so that's all about Duke's method. Now, what is IV bleeding method? You can be asked what is different method, what is other method by which you can measure bleeding time. The answer is IV's method. Okay, now how you have to do? The difference is only you have to apply a cuff on forearm, and now distal to that you have to puncture a site. You can use a scalpel, you can use a blade, or you can use a needle. Okay, the same way, but here we are just excluding the thickness of skin on finger, which can vary person to person. Even the puncture can vary. Okay, if with blade you can make a cut, and again same filter paper method we have to apply after applying 40 mmHg pressure here. So in this method we are occluding the veins, so that venous outflow we are not measuring here. That's it. So thickness of skin and venous outflow, the variation in puncture. To avoid all these, we are using IV's method. So we inflate this cuff 40 mmHg. Okay, and then we make a puncture, and again every 30 seconds on filter paper we touch it. So the total time will be counting at last. So throughout the procedure we'll have 40 mmHg pressure in the cuff to avoid the venous flow. Okay, that's it. Now, what are applied aspect? When BT can be prolonged. So bleeding time when be prolonged, when we have thrombocytopenic purpura. So when platelet counts are normal. So in platelet deficiency and vessel wall defects, the bleeding time is prolonged. Okay, while it will be normal in hemophilia, which is because of clotting factors. So in that scenario, clotting time will be prolonged, not bleeding time. So in hemophilia, CT will be prolonged, BT will be normal. In purpura, BT will be prolonged, CT will be normal. So bleeding time depends on condition of wall, temporary hemostatic plug formation, and temperature. Now, what are we talking about? Why we are talking about? Why we are stressing platelet deficiency here? So let's first see the physiological mechanism behind it. So we know hemostasis or blood clotting is basically arrest of bleeding when we have puncture. So this is a process that prevent excessive bleeding whenever we are injured. Okay, so whenever we are injured, whenever there is bleeding, we have three physiological steps in our body. First is vascular spasm, second is platelet plug formation, and blood clotting. Okay, as you can see, first of all, the diameter of vessel decreases as we have bleeding, just to prevent loss of blood. Then we have platelet which occlude this area. So as you can see here we can't have bleeding here. So the duration from puncture till bleeding stop here. So this is the second step, which is basically measured in bleeding time. Then the extra blood will be washed out, and the proper fibrin formation will be done via cascade of reactions, and that is ultimately the temporary clot formation, and we can say blood clotting. Here this is the complete seal of the vessel. Okay, so here in BT we are measuring from puncture till the platelet plug formation, we are measuring by BT, and from here till the clot formation we are measuring as CT. Okay, so in this practical we have to talk about only BT. This is the same aspect which I have explained in image, that vascular spasm, which is function of vascular endothelium, which secrete 5-HT serotonin, which cause vasoconstriction. Okay, so the vessel diameter decrease. Then second step is platelet plug formation. So platelet accumulates to the area to form a temporary plug, which is called primary hemostasis, and this we are measuring at bleeding time. Clot formation, then clotting factors which are present in blood in inactivated form, which are activated, and cascade of reaction occur to finally form a fibrin, which is basically the temporary, the permanent plug. Okay, this is also called secondary hemostasis. This slide is just to show you how basically platelet aggregation occur, which is the basis of this practical. So here you can see, whenever there is damage to endothelium, the exposed collagen below and endothelium, they secrete a factor which is VWF, von Willebrand factor. Okay, these white color are platelets, and they have some receptor for this factor. Okay, so as this factor is released, the platelet flowing in blood accumulate and attach to this factor. This is called platelet adhesion. And once this adhesion occur, platelet release a variety of factors, fibrinogen, von Willebrand, ADP. This is called platelet activation. Now, once these factors are released, which attract all other platelets flowing in blood, and all these factors which come and accumulate and attach on this collagen via various receptors. So this accumulation of platelet is called platelet aggregation. So this is the physiological mechanism behind this practical. After that, there are various cascade of reactions, intrinsic and extrinsic pathway of blood coagulation, where there are series of factors which activate, and ultimately the fibrin is formed. So that clotting process will be discussing in clotting time. So that practical related to this process is clotting time, not bleeding time. So bleeding time is based on only platelet aggregation. So that's all for today. This is about bleeding time. What is bleeding time? What is procedure of bleeding time? Methods to measure bleeding time, and physiological mechanism behind that. Nobody is asking other than these questions. Okay, if you get bleeding time in your exams. So see the video. Thanks for watching.